What's up? So, I didn't really know what to record. I've been trying to think about video ideas and stuff to record. I recorded my first games on the new Black Ops 6 Zombies map, and it was kind of boring to watch, so I just kind of scrapped that idea. And I was scrolling through Instagram, and I saw Creed Humphrey's post about going to the AFC Championship and winning and all that. And the comments were just filled with people saying how it was a rigged game and the Chiefs are one of the worst franchises of all time because the only way they can win is with help from the refs and the NFL organization. So I kind of wanted to make this video about the Chiefs controversy and how it's not really true. Um, a lot of people like to see teams win until they win too much, and then they don't want to see them win anymore. So what I have pulled up here is the Chiefs record in 2005. This was the year I was born. Sorry about that. My recording device just decided to stop. But anyways, I pulled up the record from the year I was born of the Kansas City Chiefs, and it starts off they're 10-6. So I mean, that's a pretty good record. That's what the Broncos went this year, I believe, and they went to the playoffs, and they were considered good because this was a rebuilding year and they still did good. So if we keep on going, 2006, take a minute to load, 9-7, still a winning record. They were in the playoffs. 2007, and this is when stuff really started to change. Of course, I was only 2 years old, so I wasn't watching football and I wasn't understanding what was going on. I mean, of course, it was on the TV because my dad's a huge Chiefs fan, and it was on every Sunday, so I watched it, but I didn't like watch it, if you get what I'm saying. But 4-12, this is on par with the Raiders, and the Raiders are considered one of the worst franchises in the league right now. Back then, if you were to tell me, which again I was two, so anyways, if you were to tell anybody that the Kansas City Chiefs would be on the road to a three-peat and go to 5 Super Bowls in 6 years and be the most hated franchise ever, everybody would have laughed at you. They probably would have took you to the doctor and made sure your head was on straight because that was just insane talking. Like, it's like nowadays you walking up to someone and being like, the Cleveland Browns is one of the most hated franchises ever and will go to 5 of 6 Super Bowls. Nobody will believe that because the Cleveland Browns are awful. They had that one good season with Deshaun Watson, I believe. I don't remember who was the quarterback. They were good, but not very good. No, it wasn't Deshaun Watson. Sorry. We're not going to talk about that. That's this year. Anyways, they were not good. So that's the same thing as telling people back in 2007 that the Kansas City Chiefs were going to be good. Nobody believed them. So let's skip ahead to, we'll say 2015. So they went 11-5 in 2015. You see, this is still a good record, but this isn't the 15-2 Kansas City Chiefs that you're used to. Plus, they have the Raiders and the Chargers in their division. They have always, since I've watched and understood, they have always been mid teams or bad teams. This year, of course, the Chargers have been good. Justin Herbert has been a baller. He's been amazing. But the Chiefs have always been better than these two teams right here. And they have just always been in the shadow of Denver Broncos, it feels like. Because Peyton Manning was a monster for when he played with them. I mean, he was one of my favorite quarterbacks to watch. I grew up thinking that he was the best quarterback. I never really watched Tom Brady, though, because my grandma had a severe hatred for Tom Brady. I will never understand why. She absolutely despises that man. So, anyways, I always thought Peyton Manning was the best, and he is a great quarterback, but he's definitely not the best. I can agree. Tom Brady is the greatest of all time. Anyways, so let's go to the year that Patrick Mahomes was on the team, but so his rookie season, he didn't start. They went 10-6. They led the division, but this is 10-6. This is when people started. They saw Patrick Mahomes play one game, and they're like, "Oh wow, Patrick Mahomes looks good. This could be a good team." So we'll go to the next year, maybe 12-4. Now I remember way back then, I was into football. I also had other stuff that I liked, but I was into football and I kind of understood watching Patrick Mahomes and people saying that he is going to be one of the next greatest quarterbacks. Not a single one told anybody that the refs were going to be the reason they were going to do good. It was all about Patrick Mahomes and how he's going to be the greatest of all time. So we skip ahead to 2019. They went 12-4 again. Another great season, another great year by Patrick Mahomes. All right, we skip ahead again. 2020, I mean. 14-2. Another amazing season by the Chiefs in the Patrick Mahomes franchise that he was building. Nobody at this point was saying the refs were the cause of anything. They were just admiring how good this Chiefs team was. Now, I do remember 2021 hit. The Chiefs still did good, but they didn't make it to the Super Bowl. And this is kind of when I remember that Patrick Mahomes was turning from the GOAT conversation to being a big crybaby that gets all the calls. It wasn't quite as bad as it is now, but I do remember when they went to the Super Bowl in 2022, everybody was just shocked. They're like, why are they in the Super Bowl? They don't belong there. And this is when the franchise really, this is when I noticed everybody really hated the Chiefs. Out of nowhere. This is just a small town is what people are calling compared to other towns. But this is Kansas City, Missouri. Nothing happens in Missouri. So why in the world would the NFL pick the Kansas City Chiefs to be the head of or the face of their franchise? Of the NFL, I mean. Why? Why wouldn't they pick any teams in New York? New York Giants, New York Jets, Buffalo Bills. Even though they're called Buffalo Bills, they're in New York. Or why wouldn't they pick America's team, the Dallas Cowboys, who are awful? I don't care what anybody says. They are a fraud franchise. Dak Prescott, he might have some of the best record season games of all time, but when it hits playoffs, horrible quarterback. Anyways, so why would they pick the Kansas City Chiefs to be the face of the NFL? Why? That makes no sense to me from a team that had average stats from the year I was born to up until Patrick Mahomes. They even had horrible 4-12 seasons. Why would they pick this team? So, we move on to the next year. They went 11-6. That's the same record as the Commanders did this year. And they made it to the Super Bowl. Everyone was thinking that was the most rigged thing ever because an 11-6 team cannot go to the Super Bowl. That's what everyone's mindset was. And then they won it off of pass interference or holding or whatever. No, they didn't. Every single game you watch where there is bad calls, there is always bad calls for the other team, but whatever the media post is what side the people that watch those posts are going to take. It's never just the Chiefs. There are some games where I can admit, as a Chiefs fan, where I feel like that every time there's a penalty call, I'm like, oh, here we go again. Because of the media, I know as soon as the defense gets a holding call and Patrick Mahomes gets 5 more yards or 10 more yards or whatever, that the media is going to post that. And everybody's going to hate this franchise that much more. So, now we move to this year. They went 15-2, one of their best records of all time, and they're on the road to a three-peat. All anyone can say right now is how the Bills got robbed. But I'm sorry, the Bills did not get robbed. They destroyed them in the regular season, and then when it came playoff time, they fell apart. The Chiefs beat them fair and square. There was 2 controversial calls that game. There was the fourth down attempt, that's what it was. The 4th down attempt that they did get, but if you look at the replays and really watch it, and if you watch the people break it down and draw that line, Josh Allen was not over that line. And even if he did, there was not a clear image of it. So New York cannot just say, oh, he's over that line because I'm guessing he got that extra few yards. Maybe he did, but the job of New York when you challenge a play or booth review is to make a good, strong argument on why something should be overturned, and they could not make that, so they did not overturn that call. Then, you talk about the Xavier Worthy catch. He had possession of that ball the whole entire time. If you watch that catch, it looks like the other dude is grabbing it, his arm. The ball is laying on the Bills player's arm, and Xavier Worthy has his whole body around it. That is a catch. And when that ball hits the ground, he already caught the ball. So that was not a controversial call. That is just a simple call that people don't want to see because it happened to the Chiefs. If it was vice versa and the Bills had that call, they'd be like, oh, that's a simple call ever, and Chiefs fans are crying. But no. People just don't want to see a franchise do good. I guarantee in the next 15 or 20 years, a team like the Las Vegas Raiders, they're going to be good. They're going to randomly be good for 5 years. Or the Patriots are going to go back to being good. Or the Jets are just going to be amazing out of nowhere. They're going to have some type of good streak in the draft, get good players, and they're just going to be amazing for 5 seasons. At that second or third season, people are going to say the Jets rigged the NFL because people don't want to see their team lose and other teams do good. Like, I don't get it. If I saw the Raiders slam the Chiefs 2 times in a year, yes, I'd be butthurt because the Raiders suck. But I'm not going to say the NFL is rigged for the Raiders. I'm just going to admit that the Chiefs suck enough to lose to the Raiders. I don't know. That's just something I thought about talking about because I'm tired of seeing people blame the refs for the Chiefs winning. And a lot of this boils down to the same stuff that the Patriots went through when Tom Brady was on the team. There was this one call, and if I can find it, I'll throw a clip up, but there's this one call where I believe it is Chris Jones, maybe, the defensive tackle for the Chiefs, reaches over the Patriots O-line, smacks Tom Brady's arm to try to sack him, and Tom Brady gets the ball out cleanly. There was no foul play by either team, and they missed the catch, I believe. Maybe they didn't. I don't remember it clearly, but they missed the catch, and that was roughing the passer.
Edelman, no flag. So now this gives the Chiefs sack specialist. Oh, there is a flag.
Defense number 95.
Roughing the passer.
15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
A hit to the face to the helmet by Chris Jones.
He's reaching over. And Chris Jones in the middle, you're going to see him push the pocket on Tooney, and right there he slaps. And
right
that
where?
Looks
right where?
Similar to the one earlier where he didn't hit him.
Like, Tom Brady and the Patriots got calls like that too. I guarantee Peyton Manning and the Broncos got calls like that too. The only reason those calls go on the media is because a mainstream quarterback or a mainstream team are playing, so there's so many people watching, so many people see that call. The Patriots went through this bullcrap of they cheated for however many years and they still were good. Now, they had that instance where they deflated the ball. They technically did cheat, which was awful. But still, they had years before that where they were amazing. They had years after that when they were amazing. And they had the GOAT Tom Brady on their team. So, why do the Chiefs get all this hate? I don't understand it. I just really don't. Yeah, that's just all I want to talk about today. This will be a short video and all, but I was just scrolling through Instagram, saw all these haters comment on it, and I just wanted to talk about why are the Chiefs hated so much? They're just good.